Good afternoon, students. Today's topic is antenatal care. What is antenatal care? Antenatal care is the systemic supervision of a pregnant woman, is known as antenatal care or prenatal care. This is the medical and nursing care recommended for women during pregnancy. Women who are at high risk have better outcomes if they are seen regularly and frequently by a medical professional than women who are at low risk. What are the objectives of ANC, antenatal care? Why do you have to do it? Main objective of antenatal care is to ensure a normal pregnancy with delivery of a healthy baby from a healthy mother. Criteria of a normal pregnancy. When do we call that it is a normal pregnancy? When there is a delivery of a single baby in good condition at term. At term means between 38 to 40 weeks with fetal weight of 2.5 kg or more and with no maternal complications. Aims of good prenatal care are early identification of high risk cases, early identification and treatment of any medical complications, to provide care and improve medical health of the pregnant women, to educate pregnant women about physiology of pregnancy and labor, motivate the woman for institutional delivery that she should get her delivery done in a hospital, to motivate the couple about the need of family planning and give proper advice to those seeking medical termination of pregnancy. Educate the mother about care of newborn. This is also very important, and these points should be taken care of in antenatal period. Then next, what are the components of antenatal care? First, initial assessment. Objectives of initial assessment are to assess the health status of mother and fetus. Whenever the patient comes to you, first you have to assess the health status of mother and fetus. To assess fetal gestational age, the importance of gestational age I have told you in previous lectures. To obtain baseline investigations to find out whether she has any medical problem or not. Identify high risk cases by proper history taking and examination. Then, how do we do the initial assessment? That is, components of initial assessment are first, history taking. History taking में first point is general information like name, age, husband's name, address, religion, occupation of both husband and wife, educational status, duration of marriage and period of gestation. Second point, complaints are to be noted. Even if there are no complaints, either the patient will come to you with some complaints, and if there is no complaint, she has come for a regular checkup, then inquire about nausea, vomiting, sleep, frequency of urination, appetite, bowel habits. Then history of present illness. Take detailed information of complaints regarding their onset, duration, severity, progress and any treatment received. Fourth point, history of present pregnancy. Elaborate important complications in different trimesters of present pregnancy, previous antenatal visits, history of bleeding, vaccination and any type of illness. Then comes the obstetric history. Obstetric history is only in the case of multigravida. In primigravida, there will be no obstetric history. In obstetric history, following points are to be noted. Number of live births and their age, whether they were term, preterm, male, female, complications in pregnancy, method of delivery, whether it was a normal delivery or a cesarean delivery, health of children, how are they now, date of last delivery, any complications in delivery. Then sixth point is menstrual history. First day of the last normal period is noted as LMP is noted, and from this the expected date of delivery EDD is calculated according to Naegeli's rule formula by adding 9 calendar months and 7 days to the LMP. Cycle duration and amount of blood flow are also asked for. Next, past medical history. Past history of any medical illness like tuberculosis, hypothyroidism, diabetes, urinary tract infections is taken. Past surgical history. Inquire about any past general or gynecological history. Family history, whether There is any family history of hypertension, diabetes, tuberculosis, blood dyscrasias, twinning, if any, is to be inquired. Personal history, record history of blood transfusion, use of contraception prior to pregnancy, any drug allergy, prophylactic administration of anti-D immunoglobulin. When the patient is Rh negative and her husband is Rh positive, then we take history of anti-D immunoglobulin. Next, second is examination. After first we have taken all the history, then comes the examination part. A detailed examination is also done to find out the health status of the women. First, general examination, built, obese, average है कि thin है, nutrition, whether it is good nutrition, average or poor nutrition, height, good height, average height or short less than 4 feet 7 inches, weight, obese, normal, underweight, skin color for pallor and jaundice, neck for thyroid gland enlargement, neck veins, legs for edema, swelling and varicose veins. Then breast examination is done for presence of pregnancy changes, skin condition of areola, nipples cracked or retracted, pulse, blood pressure, temperature, respiration. Then systemic examination of lungs, heart, liver, spleen and nervous system is done to find out any problem. Then comes the obstetrical examination. It is in 4 parts: inspection, palpation, auscultation. Inspection, apart from abdominal enlargement, other findings on inspections include abdominal symmetry, movement with respiration, linea nigra. You see the signs of pregnancy, linea nigra, stria gravidarum, surgical scars, visible fetal movements. Then palpation of the pregnant abdomen involves measurement of fundal height to confirm the gestational age, assessment of fetal position, presentation and lie of the fetus. Then auscultation of the fetal heart is done using a fetal stethoscope or a Doppler. Auscultate for 1 minute and determine the fetal heart rate. The normal fetal heart rate usually varies between 120 and 160 beats per minute. Then vaginal examination is done when the woman attends the clinic for the first time. It is done to diagnose the pregnancy if she comes in first trimester, to correlate the size of the uterus with period of amenorrhea, to exclude any pelvic pathology. Then routine investigations are done: blood for hemoglobin, blood group and Rh, blood glucose, and screening for viral markers like VDRL, hepatitis B, HIV. Urine is examined for proteins, sugar and pus cells. Special investigations are done: torch test, antibodies to detect immunity for toxoplasma, rubella, cytomegalovirus and herpes simplex. Genetic screening, maternal serum alpha fetoprotein, triple test at 15 to 18 weeks for mothers who are at risk of carrying a fetus with neural tube defects, Down syndrome or any other chromosomal abnormality. Ultrasound examination is done, which is very important in pregnant female. It helps to detect early pregnancy, accurate dating, number of fetuses, gross fetal anomalies, any uterine or adnexal pathology. Then antenatal advice. This was all the history taking and examination part of antenatal care. Then what antenatal advice you will do? Antenatal advice is a health education which prepares the pregnant lady physically, psychologically and emotionally for labor. What are the principles? Antenatal advice should be acceptable, accessible and according to the need of women and her circumstances. Whatever you advise should be acceptable, वो पेशेंट एक्सेप्ट कर सके एंड उसकी नीड्स के अकॉर्डिंग होनी चाहिए. डाइट, प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन शुड बी काउंसल्ड to eat a balanced diet to ensure healthy, good maternal growth, optimum growth of the fetus and successful lactation. The pregnancy diet should be light, nutritious, easily digestible and rich in protein, minerals and vitamins. In addition to the main food, the diet should consist of half a liter of milk, plenty of green vegetables and fruits. The amount of salt should be sufficient enough to make the food tasty. At least half of the protein should be first class, containing all amino acids. Majority of the fat should be of animal type, containing vitamins A and D. Women are counseled to avoid certain foods because of the possibility of contamination with bacteria or parasites that can cause illness. Then supplementary nutrition, iron. The supplementary iron therapy is needed for all pregnant mothers from 16 weeks onwards. One tablet of ferrous sulfate containing 60 mg of elemental iron should be given to every mother. Multivitamins should be given 20 weeks onwards, as the essential vitamins are either lacking or lost during cooking. Then weight gain in pregnancy. And overall pregnancy weight gain for those of normal weight is 11 to 12 kg having a singleton pregnancy. Women who are underweight should gain between 12.7 to 18 kg, and while those who are overweight, जिनका weight ज़्यादा है, are advised to limit gain between 7 kg. During pregnancy, insufficient or excessive weight gain can compromise the health of the mother and fetus. Becoming overweight in pregnancy increases the risk of complications for mother and fetus, including cesarean section, gestational hypertension, preeclampsia, macrosomia, and shoulder dystocia. Macrosomia means the fetus becomes large when the mother gains a lot of weight, and shoulder dystocia occurs during delivery. Rest and sleep. The mother can continue her normal activities throughout pregnancy but should avoid heavy weight lifting. It has been suggested that stressful work and exposure to bright light at night should be avoided in first trimester and last 4 weeks of pregnancy because it disturbs sleep. On an average, the woman should be in bed for at least 10 hours, 8 hours at night and 2 hours in afternoon, especially in last 6 weeks. Then hygiene. The woman should maintain cleanliness by taking bath daily, cleaning of genital parts. Good dental and oral hygiene should be maintained. Women should wear clean and loose clothes. High heels should be avoided in advanced pregnancy when the center of balance alters. Tight belts around the abdomen should not be worn. She should take care of breast, should wear well-fitted clean bra. Self-examination of breast should be done regularly. She should be taught to examine the breast and keep them clean. If there is any engorgement or cracked or inverted nipples, she should contact the doctor. Most women can continue to engage in sexual activity throughout pregnancy. Coitus should be avoided when there is increased risk of miscarriage, preterm labor or bleeding. Travel, which is very important. Most females ask whether they can travel or not. Then travel by vehicles having jerks is to be avoided, especially in first trimester and last 6 weeks. Travel by train is preferred over bus. Air travel is safe up to 36 weeks and contraindicated in placenta previa, preeclampsia, severe anemia and sickle cell disease. Prolonged sitting in a car or airplane should be avoided due to the risk of venous stasis and thromboembolism. Recreational drugs. The use of alcohol and tobacco smoking in pregnancy should be stopped to prevent fetal malformations, growth restriction and neurological problems, and can cause various pregnancy complications. Exercise. Regular aerobic exercise during pregnancy appears to improve or maintain physical fitness. The women should contact a healthcare provider or physiotherapist before continuing with an exercise program. Immunization against tetanus protects the mother as well as the neonate. During pregnancy, 2 injections of 0.5 ml of tetanus toxoid are given intramuscularly at 4 weeks interval. First one is given between 12 weeks to 16 weeks, and next after 1 month. Women who are immunized in the past or who have got a baby less than 3 years, a booster dose is given in last trimester. Then the general advice. The patient should be motivated to attend the ANC clinic regularly on the scheduled date of visit. She is instructed to report immediately if she suffers from symptoms like intense headache, disturbed sleep, restlessness, urinary problems, epigastric pain and vomiting. She is advised to get admitted in case of painful uterine contractions suggestive of onset of labor, sudden gush of watery fluid per vaginum suggestive of premature rupture of membranes, active vaginal bleeding, however slight it may be. And the routine followed by Indian government for antenatal visits is every month till 7 months of pregnancy, after that every 15 days, and after 36 weeks the examination should be done weekly.